Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and this is a video response to my good friend Jared, aka Project COE. Check him out. He's going to be down in the description, the link to his channel. He also is with his friend Steven. They're great guys. Jared and I are pretty close. We talk a lot. He's just great to talk to, and his videos are excellent. So, he had done a video the other day that I really liked, and it was something called PS1 rare or valuable games, and he said what he was referring to was a title he purchased maybe when it first came out or just on a whim, and then it ended up being something either worth money or something that's just hard to find. So I pulled out 4 of my favorite games ever, but they're also 4 of my favorite games on the system, of course, and they are, I would say, uncommon to rare. Nothing super duper crazy, like worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but you know, they're worth a couple bucks each, and they're just great games. So what I'm going to start with is something I've spoken about before, is Discworld, and it's on the PlayStation 1, as I said. I believe it was also on the Saturn. I don't know if that was only in Japan, in Europe or Japan, though, I don't remember. So this game has a little story to it. A friend had it, and we traded something, so he gave it to me and I gave him something else, and you know, we would do trades for keeps, not like just borrowing or whatever. And it's very slow. It's a great game, but it's a very slow point and click game. A lot of speech, very cool looking and cartoony looking, based off the Terry Pratchett Discworld book series or comic book series, I believe. And the graphics for the time were amazing because it looks like a cartoon, but you know, it can kind of get mundane because it's slow. So after a while, I don't know if we ever had beaten it, because it's a puzzle game, so it's kind of difficult. I don't know if we'd ever beaten it, but we got pretty far, and I tried trading it in, and the guy said, well, I'm not taking that game back. You guys bought that from here. Like, it's not really worth anything. And it was like a mom and pop type shop, and we knew the guy, but he wouldn't do it. Funny part is now it's kind of hard to come by, let alone in a long box. So I'm glad I didn't get rid of it. Like I said, it's a slightly rare game. So that just is cool to me, and I have that, you know, that memory with my friend Nikki. What's up, Nick? And it just kind of all ties in like and melds very nicely for me. The second one is something I got years later, that because I was a fan of the first one, I purchased it, and it's actually mint. Discworld 2, Mortality Bites. I don't think this one is as rare, especially because it's not in a long box. They don't make the long box games at this point. Or hadn't made the long box games at this point, I should say. It was good. I liked it, but I liked the first one better. So that was the, you know, slight tie-in to the first game. One of my other favorites, which you guys might have seen me mention a bunch of times. I even opened the 3DO version that was brand new on camera, and that is Psychic Detective. This also has a story with it. I had a friend who I was sleeping over at his house when I was a kid, and we went to the video store, and his mother said, rent whatever you want. We saw this, and I was like, FMV, we gotta rent this. And we rented it, and I don't think he dug it too much, but I loved it. It was like so weird and difficult. I'm actually friends now with Kevin Bresnahan on Facebook, who is the main actor from, excuse me, the main actor from this game. You're a detective, and you're psychic, obviously, and you jump into people's minds and see what they see through their visions, and you have to complete this story by seeing everyone's visions. You usually don't get the gist of it the first playthrough. You have to play it a bunch of times. And then at the end, you play a board game, which sounds kind of odd in hindsight, and depending on what you choose in the board game, you can, you know, beat the last character. It's really good, and there's like 20 endings. So, one of my favorites, also on the 3DO, I have it for the 3DO as well, Psychic Detective. And finally, here's one that I had, I guess, heard of and just always wanted to play. So I picked it up. I don't have the manual, it seems, but I have the disc in the case. And it's one of my favorite games. It's so cheesy. I love it. I love cheesy games and cheesy movies. Fox Hunt. Fox Hunt is kind of like you're a spy, but like a Jim Carrey type spy. Like, you tell the main character really watched a lot of Jim Carrey movies. All this goofy crap happens. Like, there's always like a slapstick type humor, but you have to figure out which way to go and what to do, what buttons to push. If you don't do it correctly or do it in time, you die. It's like a Sega CD game. That's how these FMV games usually are. And it was just a lot of fun, and I had invested a decent amount of time into it. I mean, I really sat down and played it, and I thought it was fairly long from what I remember, but it was just great. I remember I moved downstairs into this apartment I'm in now, and I think I had a CRT still, and I had the PlayStation hooked up. I don't think I had much to play at that point, so I popped this in, and I like ran through this thing. It is 3 discs, so it lasted a little while. Like I said, I think there's different. I don't know if there's different endings, but excuse me. I don't know if there's different endings, but there's different. You know, you can die, you can live. This happens, that happens, and just a great game that not many people talk about. And I just think it's kind of worth some money now because, you know, they probably didn't make many. It probably didn't sell very well. So that's it. Those are my four of my favorite games ever, and 4 of my favorite games on the PlayStation 1 that have now become rare, sort of valuably. But valuably, is that a word? Probably not. So that's really it. Thanks, Jared, for the question. Project COE. I'm going to put your name, like I said, down in the description for anyone who wants to check him out. He's excellent. And thank you guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.